Welcome to Midnight Guest. If you're hearing my voice, then it's already too late to turn back. You've stepped into the dark, and tonight you'll hear 3 true encounters. Real stories from real people. Things that happened in our world not long ago. Each one different, each one worse than the last. So sit back, stay quiet, and whatever you do, don't look behind you. Now, let me tell you the first story. Story 1. The Man in the Closet. It started small. At first, she thought she was just tired. A book left open on the table when she swore she had closed it. A glass of water half empty when she hadn't touched it all day. Clothes folded differently from how she remembered leaving them. She laughed it off. Maybe I'm just stressed, she told herself. But deep down, something didn't feel right. Every evening after work, she followed the same routine. Unlock the door, step inside, drop her bag, silence. But sometimes, the silence felt different, too heavy, too aware. Like the apartment itself was holding its breath. She would sit on her couch, scrolling her phone, and from the corner of her eye, she thought she saw movement, the faintest shift of her closet door. When she looked directly, it was shut, perfectly still. At night, she began hearing noises, soft creaks, the quiet shuffle of weight on the floorboards, always near the closet. One night, she woke up to the sound of her closet creaking open, slowly, inch by inch. Her heart pounded so hard she could hear it in her ears. She pulled the blanket over her mouth, frozen, watching. The door stopped moving, and silence swallowed the room again. She told herself she imagined it, until she set her phone to record while she slept. The next morning, she played it back. For hours, nothing. Until 2:37 a.m. The recording captured it clearly. The door creaking open. Footsteps, breathing, a faint whisper. Her blood went cold. She wasn't alone. That night, she searched the closet herself. At first, nothing but clothes, shoes, boxes. But when she pushed everything aside, she saw it. A hidden space. And inside that space, a filthy blanket, empty food wrappers, the stench of sweat. Someone had been living there for weeks, eating her food, watching her at night, crawling out of the closet when she left for work. When the police came, they pulled out a man, eyes wide, dirty, silent. He had been there all along, waiting. She moved out the very next day, and even now she checks every closet in every home she lives in, because once you've seen eyes staring back from the darkness, you never forget them. If you're still with me, do one thing before the next story. Check your closet, then leave a like and subscribe. Because the next story, it doesn't happen in your home, it happens on the road. Story 2. The Disappearing Hitchhiker. It was late. The road stretched empty for miles. Rain hammered against the windshield. Headlights cut through the dark. Mark was driving home from a long shift, his eyelids heavy, the silence pressing against his chest. Then, he saw her, a young woman, standing beneath a flickering streetlight, soaked, shivering, her thumb raised for a ride. Against his better judgment, he slowed, rolled the window down. Need a ride? She nodded slowly, her voice barely above a whisper. Please, just take me home. She slid into the back seat. Her wet clothes clung to the leather. Her hair hung heavy across her pale face. And for a long while, neither of them spoke. Finally, he asked, "Where do you live?" She gave him an address. A small house not far from the road. As he drove, he kept glancing in the mirror. She never looked at him, only out the window, her lips moving faintly, as though whispering to someone unseen. The car grew colder. His breath fogged against the glass. Every hair on his neck stood on end. When he pulled up to the house, he turned to tell her they had arrived, but the back seat was empty. No sound, no door opening, nothing, only wet footprints across the seat. Shaking, he walked to the front door. An older woman answered. Her face went pale as he described what happened. "That was my daughter," she whispered. "She died in a car accident, on that road, 10 years ago." Mark left trembling, and to this day, whenever he drives past that stretch of highway, he watches the flickering streetlights carefully, because sometimes he swears he sees her again. Story 3. The Stalker Outside My Window. Left. 3 stories, 3 reminders that danger doesn't always knock. Sometimes it's already inside your home, sometimes it rides with you in the dark, and sometimes it waits outside your window. If you've made it this far, you're braver than most. But bravery won't always save you, so remember, trust your instincts, lock your doors, and never ignore the shadows. Subscribe now, because the next story might be the one that finds you.